All right, we've got Harry Potter for Monday, July 15th, starting on page 302. No, it was very good, said Sirius, smiling. Anyway, we better be quick, just in case we're disturbed. Your scar. What about? Ron began, but Hermione said quickly, We'll tell you afterwards. Go on, Sirius. Well, I know it can't be fun when it hurts, but I don't think it's anything to really worry about. It kept aching all last year, didn't it? Yeah, and Dumbledore said it would happen whenever Voldemort was feeling a powerful emotion, said Harry, ignoring, as usual, Ron and Hermione's winces. So, maybe he was just, I don't know, really angry or something last night when I had detention. Well, now he's back, it's bound to hurt more often, said Sirius. So you don't think it's anything to do with Umbridge touching me when I was in detention with her? Harry asked. I doubt it, said Sirius. I know her by reputation, and I'm sure she's no Death Eater. She's foul enough to be one, said Harry darkly, as Ron and Hermione nodded vigorously in an agreement. Yes, but the world isn't split into good people and Death Eaters, said Sirius with a wry smile. I know she's a nasty piece of work, though. You should hear Remus talk about her. Does Lupin know her? Asked Harry quickly, remembering Umbridge's comments about dangerous half-breeds during her first lesson. No, said Sirius, but she drafted a bit of anti-werewolf legislation 2 years ago and makes it almost impossible for him to get a job. Harry remembered how much shabbier Lupin looked these days, and dislike of Umbridge deepened even further. What's she got against werewolves? Hermione said angrily. Scared of them, I expect, said Sirius, smiling at her indignation. Apparently she loathes part humans. She campaigned to have mer people rounded up and tagged last year. Imagine wasting your time and energy persecuting mer people when there are little toe tags like creature on the loose. Or toe rags like creature on the loose. Ron laughed, but Hermione looked upset. Sirius, she said reproachfully. Honestly, if you made a bit of effort with Creature, I'm sure he'd respond. After all, you are the only member of his family he's got left, and Professor Dumbledore said, So what are you Umbridge's lessons like? Sirius interrupted. Is she training you to kill half-breeds? No, said Harry, ignoring Hermione's affronted look at being cut off in defense of Creature. She's not letting us use magic at all. All we do is read stupid textbooks, said Ron. Well, that figures, said Sirius. Our information from inside the Ministry is that Fudge doesn't want you trained in combat. Trained in combat, repeated Harry incredulously. Why would he think we're doing that? Forming some sort of wizard army? That's exactly what he thinks you're doing, said Sirius. Or rather, it's exactly what he's afraid Dumbledore's doing, forming his own private army, with which he'll be able to take on the Ministry of Magic. There was a pause at this, and Ron said, That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, including all the stuff Luna Lovegood comes out with. So we're being prevented from learning Defense Against the Dark Arts because Fudge is scared we'll use spells against the Ministry, said Hermione, looking furious. Yep, said Sirius. Fudge thinks Dumbledore will stop at nothing to seize power. He's getting more paranoid about Dumbledore by the day. It's a matter of time before he has Dumbledore arrested on some trumped-up charge. This reminded Harry of Percy's letter. Do you know if there's going to be anything about Dumbledore in the Daily Prophet tomorrow? Only Ron's brother Percy reckons there will be. I don't know, said Sirius. I haven't seen anyone from the Order all weekend. They're all busy. It's just been Creature and me here. There was a definite note of bitterness in Sirius's voice. So you haven't had any news about Hagrid either. Ah, said Sirius. Well, he's supposed to be back by now. No one's sure what's happened to him. Then, seeing their stricken faces, he added quickly, But Dumbledore's not worried, so don't you three worry about get yourselves in a state. I'm sure Hagrid's fine. But if he's supposed to be back by now, said Hermione in a small, worried voice. Madame Maxime was with him, and we've been in touch with her, and she says they got separated on the journey home, but there's nothing to suggest he's hurt, or nothing to suggest he's not perfectly okay. Unconvinced, Harry, Ron, and Hermione exchanged worried looks. Listen, don't go asking too many questions about Hagrid, said Sirius hastily. It'll just draw even more attention to the fact that he's not back yet. I know Dumbledore doesn't want that. Hagrid's tough. He'll be okay. When they did not appear cheered by this, Sirius added, When's your next Hogsmeade weekend, anyway? I was thinking we got away with the dog disguise at the station, didn't we? I thought I could... No, said Harry and Hermione together very loudly. Sirius, didn't you see the Daily Prophet? Said Hermione anxiously. Oh, that. They're always guessing where I am. They haven't got a clue. Yeah, but we think this time they have, said Harry. Something Malfoy said on the train that made us think it was you. Or he knew it was you, and his father was on the platform. Sirius, you know, Lucius Malfoy. So don't come up here, whatever you do, if Malfoy recognizes you again. All right, I got the point, said Sirius. He looked most displeased. Just an idea. Thought you might like to get together. I would. I just don't want you to get chucked back into Azkaban, said Harry. There was a pause when Sirius looked out on the fire at Harry, a crease between his sunken eyes. You're less like your father than I thought, he said finally, a defiant coolness in his voice. The risk would have been what made it fun for James. Look, well, I better get going. I can hear Creature coming down the stairs, said Sirius, but Harry was sure he was lying. All right to tell you a time I can make it back into the fire, then, shall I? If you can stand to risk it? And there was a tiny pop in the place where Sirius's head had been flickering flame once more. Love you, bud.